this pisses me off to no end. Go out on dates with the new men that are spending the time and the effort and the money to get to know you, and then go home and fuck the other guys that didn't do shit for you. Go fuck them. Go fuck the other guys that were pieces of shit to you. Go fuck them. Guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. More drama from our friend Jana Hocking. She's either stupid or liar. And most women are today. I'll be honest with you. They think we're stupid. And, you know, Jana Hocking is, of course, another great example. Her dating pool is so gross, you need to add chlorine. Like, she is a gross woman. And she's going to try to convince us, as many of these women do today, they're going to try to convince us that their past really isn't that bad. That a couple of bad mistakes here and there, but really my body count isn't that high, or the mistakes I've made, or I haven't really slept with that many people, or blah, blah, blah. Because they think that we're stupid. But I'll tell you, number one, I know they're liars, and number two, I think they're stupid. And I think they're stupid and liars. That's what I'm trying to say. Because they think we're going to believe them. Jana has written article after article after article, and she's gone on TV and TV shows in Australia, and she talks about all these men she's dated, and footballers, and I don't know, people she meets out at the bars. And then she talks about in the morning, after they've had their fun, her leaving, her deciding he's not the right guy, them not working out together. Story after story after story. And now she's going to come around and say, guys, nobody wants to date me. They just want to use me for a pincushion and stick me several times, and then when they're done, leave. And no one wants to be with me anymore. Well, but you see, I actually have a very low body count, says Jana. This is from just a week ago. I love the fact that she can write articles for the New York Post and for other things from news.com.au. And she's been proven multiple times to be not only a liar, but a complete hypocrite. But they're going to still pay her to write articles. So that's how you know mainstream media is dead, because everything they post is just trash now. From the New York Post, how to keep your body count low while still having lots of the old in and out, lots of the sexy time, says Jana. Boy, talk about going right to the professional. She says, now you may be shocked to hear this, but I have a surprisingly low body count. No, you don't. Now, unless triple digits is low. If you think triple digits is surprisingly low for Jana, you and her agree. She does have a surprisingly low body count. She says, yes, despite all my dating adventures, I've managed to keep the number of men I've slept with quite low. I know, wild. I don't believe her. She even says, now I'm sure a lot of you are calling BS on this, but I've had a trick up my sleeve this whole time. And it's meant that despite all those years with an ever-excitable bedroom drive, I've managed to stay full throttle without worrying about the notches on my bedpost, how I revisit my old flames. So now she's going to try to convince us that, that date that she said she went out with the footballer and she had too many drinks, and then she got buck wild, and then the next morning he left. She's going to try to convince us that she didn't get buck wild with that footballer. No, she left the bedroom where he was sleeping, and she got buck wild with an ex of hers.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, sir.
This is the insanity portion. This is why so many men are not only struggling to date, but they're struggling to believe women. They're struggling to trust women. They're struggling to communicate with women. They struggle with women completely because women are crazy. They're just crazy now. If she's going to tell me, of all the articles that I've read and of all the things she's talked about how she needs a man to spend this much money on her before she sleeps with him, and that she went out and did this with this guy, and then she had a threesome another weekend, and then this other crazy thing happened, and she's going to come back and say, actually, my body count is quite low. I'm going to say you're crazy. And you have to be crazy to believe somebody like her. You genuinely do. But women have gotten to the point where if they screw their lives up and the body count's too high or things aren't going so well for them and it's gotten around that they're a bit easy, instead of owning it and saying, I had some crazy times in my past, but I'm different now. Instead of owning it, they'd rather say, actually, no, things aren't as crazy as you think they are. Because I fooled you, you see, because I kept going back to, you remember all the men I told you that were awful or horrible or not worth my time or losers? I was still sleeping with them. I just I went back and slept with them over and over again, and that's the truth. and they think we're going to believe this. She says, yep, those men I've slept with in the past who are the perfect combination of kind and mighty fine in bed. Again, yes, those men I've slept with in the past who are the perfect combination of kind and mighty fine in bed. It must be noted, however, there's one important rule that can't be ignored. Anyone remotely toxic is instantly struck from the list. I learned this the hard way. No revisiting an ex who completely mucked me around. No. We're not signing up for round 2 of a WTF moment in life. Okay, round 3. So she even admits right there. She says, I'm not doing this round 2. Okay, well, it'll be round 3 because actually I've gone around with these guys multiple times. So ladies, why can't I get a man? Let's pretend I'm Jana. Let's pretend I'm other women out there in the world. Why can't I get a man to marry me? Why can't I get a man to stay with me? Why can't I get a boyfriend? Here, it's easy. Here's why. You're still sleeping with your exes or other men. And these men right here, these men that were a perfect combination of kind and mighty fine. So he's hot and he's good in bed and he's nice to you and you're still sleeping with him. Guess what? So is Amy and so is Becky and so is, I don't know, some other chick. And so is Jana. And so that guy's sleeping with all these women on rotation. On rotation, he's got them all. And he keeps sprinkling in new ones every once in a while. If you're that guy, would you settle on any woman? If you're that guy, would you get married? If you're that guy, would you have a girlfriend? Or would you be like, oh my God, all I have to do is she calls me when she's free. She comes over and we do the deed. We do the in and out. I don't even have to take her out for a drink because she was out with another drink with a guy earlier. He paid for the date. He had the fun. Or she had the fun and he paid for everything. And then she came over to my place and she's like, all right, let's do this. It's Christmas. It's Christmas. Why would these men ever have a relationship? I mean, I don't know about you, but if I had, I don't know, as a 50-year-old guy, if I had even 5 or 6 decent looking women that were Jana's age at 40 or 42 or 45 or whatever the hell she is, If I had 3 to 5 women on rotation, people would be like, dude, aren't you going to ever marry and get settled down? I'd be like, hell no. I got these women coming over. I don't even take them out. Other dudes are taking them out, buying the dates. They just come over and we hook up and then they go home because, I mean, I'm not devilishly handsome or anything, nor am I probably that exceptional in any of the ways that they want. But the whole point is that guy is. And then the women fall in love with him, and then they like, what? Men are toxic. Why can't I get that guy? He's busy sleeping with other women. And I keep saying this. I keep pointing it out, and then the women keep saying, yep, that is totally right. That's totally what's happening. But this isn't working out so well for us. They're not so bright. She said, and certainly not the guy with a spicy addiction who thought it would be fun to bring those outlandish and slightly misogynistic moves to the bedroom, struck from the list. Okay, whatever. I keep it to a tight list of men who weren't quite boyfriend material, but brought the O faces, brought her to the finish line. For example, I'm currently revisiting a very handsome man I had found fun relations with in 2019, 2021, and now 2024. He's the recent to my "you up" text, or he's the recipient to my "are you up" texts. There's also the chef from Lockertown I like to grace my chest with from time to time. And the old former work colleague who gets a meet me at my place in an hour text once in a blue moon. These men allow me to date like a lady. I get dressed up, go on classy dates, and then leave with an air of mystery. All the Randy hormones I've stirred up in the process go towards those on my revisit list. Therefore, I'm not wasting my body count on men who may or may not end up being dud dudes down the road once I've gotten to know them. Oh, but you are. You are. So here's what she does. I have 50 notches. I have 50 notches, and I add new ones to the list every year. But when the current man isn't up to new notch worthy, I go back to a man that doesn't love me, doesn't care about me, really is just using me as a wormhole, and we do that, and then I don't count that as a notch. I got news for you. Again, this is something that I don't think women understand. If a woman said, I've only been with 10 men in my life, which is still a very large number. I've only been with 10 men in my life. But instead of going out and getting new men and new men and new men, I've slept with the same 10 men over the last 20 years. And some of them have gotten married, and some of them probably are dating other people. She even admitted to sleeping with some of the same men her friends did. That was in another article, but she just writes articles like we've forgotten everything else she's ever written about. So she even admits, I take a guy I really like, we go get dressed up, go on a classy date, and then I leave with an air of mystery, and then I go over to my old hookups house, and I get it on with him. So the guy that paid the date, he doesn't get any action, and the guy that she knows is not good to date and isn't boyfriend worthy, but he's fun in the sack and gets it done, she goes over and gives it to him for free. Gentlemen, which guy do you want to be? Do you want to be the guy in the restaurant paying for the date and not getting any? Are you going to go back out with her? Probably not. Are you going to be the guy that's not taking her out, but she comes over after a date and she's like, let's get this on. Like, I just had a great dinner and conversation with this guy, and now I'm coming over and I'm going to bang you. Do you think that guy's going to want to ever tie the knot? Women are their own worst enemies. And she is ruining dating for herself and everybody else. She is. Because now the guy that maybe she went out on a date with reads this article and is like, holy crap, so I paid for the date, we had a good time, and you left with an air of mystery to go over to this guy's house and sleep with him instead. Fuck you. And more men see this and hear about this, which is why I'm doing this story, and go, are you kidding me, dude? She says, I'm not wasting my body count. Yes, you are, because you're giving it to the same guys over and over and over again. Multiple different ones, because she even says here she has multiple guys. I've got this guy and I've got this guy. This is what's so stupid. I'm currently revisiting a guy I've had relations with in 2019, 2021, and he's the recipient of my Are You Up? There's also another guy from the lockdowns, when everything was locked down. There's also from the former work colleague. There's also, she's sleeping with 3 or 4 dudes at a time. Now, these are old flames, so she says, doesn't count on my body count list. Oh, but it does. It does. And the worst part is I don't have the patience nor the crayons to explain this stuff to people like her. They don't understand. They're not bright enough to understand why we men have a problem with this. She's freaking horrible. And look, the guys that go out and do this, they're given the free passes. These women are like, I just want to come over and bang you. Okay, all right. Now, would the problem go away if all these men stop doing that? I suppose. But good luck getting a bunch of men to stop doing that stuff. But women don't have any principles anymore. So she says, the 3 men who I've happily added to my body count are kind and sweet, certainly not boyfriend material, so a perfect for a how's your mother wink wink. And best of all, there's no complaints from them. Just a petri dish. I'm envious of people that don't know anything about Jana. I'm envious of people who's never heard of this woman. She says, no one's getting hurt. There's no what's this mean chats. It's fun until the real thing comes along. But do you think the real thing's going to come along? What's the real thing, Jana? You're going to take a guy out and then leave with an air of mystery and go get your back blown out by one of your exes. Do you think you're going to be in the right mindset, the right place for any guy to actually fall for you? I don't know if you know this, you dumb fucking cunt. You write news articles that everybody can see. Here's my picture. Here's what I've been doing. Now I'm just waiting for the right man to come along. Oh, that's going to work out great for you. That's going to work. And she's starting to look old, boy, let me tell you. She's getting those little jowls. The wrinkles are showing up. She's gonna tell everybody her plans, and then she writes it publicly with her photo. There's no right guy that's going to come along and wife you up or be serious about you, because he knows. He knows what your deal is. She says, now, if you find your body count list is getting a little long, may I suggest you do the same? They do not. It's not about the raw numbers. It's about the mindset, the damage of sleeping with so many people over and over and over again just to get your rocks off instead of having emotions. She thinks she's found an end around, and all she's doing is damaging herself differently. She says, heck, not because you're worried about what others will think. Save that from the Andrew Tates of the world who are horrified if a woman is not a virgin. Rolls high so hard she almost falls over. I mean, you don't see Taylor Swift writing songs about her list. Nope, she's too busy enjoying a life packed full of interesting past and present lovers. Now that's an autobiography I very much... Oh, yes, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is the epitome of women. Yes, all women should look up to Taylor Swift. Dingbat. She says, no, may I suggest you only do it if you're worried about the type of guy you're inviting in the bedroom. For example, if you're like me and are aware that your taste in men needs a bit of improvement, then a revisit list is the perfect solution. So she admits her taste in men are horrible. And so rather than letting her list of horrible men get too long, she keeps going and sleeping with the same horrible men over and over and over again. Oh, brilliant. Oh, boy, you've figured out the... She says, it gives you the time and energy to invest in getting to know the other guys you're going on dates with well before you jump into bed with them and rue the day. So go on the date with these new men, and this is what I say, guys, pisses me off so much. This pisses me off to no end. Go out on dates with the new men that are spending the time and the effort and the money to get to know you, and then go home and fuck the other guys that didn't do shit for you. Go fuck them. Go fuck the other guys that were pieces of shit to you. Go fuck them. But make the nice guys that are wanting to get to know you, make them wait. Make them think that you're a good girl. In the meantime, you're getting your back blown out by assholes. And then the nice guys say, you know what? I don't have time for this. There's something up with you. You're weird. You blow me off. She says, how many times have you heard your girlfriend's lament? God, I should have never slept with him. So instead, you're going to go on a date with him, then go back to sleeping with your ex. I guess apparently 1,500 different shapes, forms, and methods of toys for women isn't enough. So you must go get that validation from an ex and sleep with him again. She said instead you go on the dates, you thank them for a good night, and then you go to and then you give yourself 24 hours to decide if you like the guy or if you're just horny. In the meantime, you're taking that horniness to the special gent on your revisit list. Your body count remains low and your decision-making skills remain high. Holy mother, she's stupid. She is so stupid. She's doing exactly what I tell you guys to be worried about. No, she doesn't charge for it, but what she's doing is she's making one guy pay for the date, get to know her, and then she pretends to be good girl, or she says, oh, this isn't working for me, thanks for the date, and then she goes and gets banged by the guy that she finds hot and who doesn't want anything to do with her except for using her for a warm hole. And if he's very good at that, don't you think she might be out on a date with a guy? She says, "Oh, he's really interesting and nice, but I'm gonna go sleep with a guy that I know has. But I'm gonna let this. We'll go out again. I want to. And he bought me a really nice dinner, and he put some energy out into this. So we'll go out again. I want you to flip the script on this, guys. I want you to flip the script in your head. What I like to do, I go out with women. And we go on a date, and I make them think I'm really into them. And then I don't really sleep with them. I don't pay attention to them. I just go out and have a little bit of fun with them. In the meantime, making them think that I'm really interested in them. And then I'm sleeping with all my old exes and just dangling these girls along. I'm sure somebody would be pissed about that. Some women would. Then if they found out I was using those women, like those women were paying for the dates, those women were paying for the dates, and I was dragging them all along a little bit. I wasn't sleeping with them. I was just making them feel like I really liked them, and they paid for the dates, and I was just sleeping with other women. They'd call me a pig. But see, when women do it, oh, it's being smart. It's just making sure my body count doesn't get. I'm not using these guys. Jana, you're a dirty who uses men. You use the men in the bedroom. You use the men on the dates. You use men for whatever you want out of it, and you justify it through craziness. You put this publicly, and you're surprised people think you're gross. You're surprised that I make videos about you. You're everything that's wrong with dating in society today. You're everything that's wrong with women. You're the reason why men don't want to get involved with women anymore. It's women like you that do that to them. All right, I'm going to continue on, believe it or not. That's all I'm putting over on YouTube, and it's going to be censored to hell, let me tell you. I already know that from all the words I've been using. That's all I'm putting on YouTube, but I'm going to put a little bit more content over on Locals and on Rumble to thank you guys for being jumping over there off YouTube, because YouTube.